Now we are going to start 8086 microprocessor's next topic, that is flag registers and its functions. So there can be asked a complete questions related to flag in 8086 microprocessor, or it may be asked to explain some of the flag bits of the 8086 microprocessor. Okay, so the flag registers are contained in the basically which unit, BIE or execution unit. These instructions are contained into the execution unit. Okay, so basically used for the they are indicating the result of the arithmetic logic operations. So flag register is always included nearby to the ALU. Okay, so definitely in case of the 8086 microprocessor it will be with execution unit, and we already know that 8086 microprocessor has in its architecture has two units, that is execution unit and bus interface unit. Okay, so let's start the flag register. In 8086 flag register contains indicate the result of the computation in the ALU. It also contains some flag bits to control the CPU operation. Okay, so it indicates some computation results in ALU and control the CPU operations. Okay, so now in 8086 microprocessor the flag register is 16 bit and it is divided into two parts, that is the conditional flag and machine control flag. Okay, conditional flag register comes basically into the lower byte of the flag register, and machine control flags come into the upper byte of the 16-bit flag register. Okay, and in conditional flag there are basically 6 flags, 5 flags which we already know in the 8085 microprocessor, that is the carry flag, parity flag, auxiliary carry, zero flag, sign flag. One additional flag comes in this group, that is conditional flag overflow, that is overflow flag. So overflow flag is additionally included from the upper byte into this group, that is conditional flag. Next part is control machine control flags. So this basically contains 3 flags, that is trap flag, interrupt process control flag, and string direction flag. So you may see here in the diagram uh, D11, D10, D9 and D8. Okay, and 0 to D7 all the flags which are already available with 8085 microprocessor, that is sign flag, zero flag, auxiliary flag, parity flag and carry flag. And in upper byte from D8 to D11 you find all the 4 additional flags. So 5 and 4 in the upper byte, total 9 flags. And for lower byte flags you already know, sign flag, zero flag, auxiliary carry flag, parity flag and carry flag. So let's see one by one the flags available in the upper byte of the flag register of 8086, that is overflow flag, string direction flag, interrupt enable flag and trap flag. Okay, so let's see first overflow flag. Overflow flag is nothing but it shows the result when two same sign bit numbers are added, or there is a arithmetic and logical operation with two same sign bit numbers, and then there is always a overflow. Means to store the 7-bit numbers you may get one extra bit because of the overflow. So that condition is called overflow, or if you are getting a carry at the MSP then there is a overflow. So overflow flag will be set if there is 7-bit operation or 15-bit operation, and uh, result is of more than 7 bits in size in case of 8-bit signed operation, and more than 15 bit in size in case of 16-bit signed operation, then overflow flag will be set. Okay, suppose you are performing the 1 byte addition, so there will be or there can be overflow, and suppose you are performing 2-byte operation, that is adding two 16-bit numbers, so there can be overflow. Okay, and trap flag, we already know that trap is unmaskable and interrupt in 8085 microprocessor, which is also available with 8086 microprocessor. And as it is unmaskable, you cannot ignore this interrupt. So if this flag is set in the flag register, the processor enters into the single step execution, that is control is transferred to the control is immediately transferred to the ISR, that is interrupt service routine, and perform the execution in the single step. So this flag is set, the interrupt the trap flag will be serviced. Okay, next flag available in the upper byte is interrupt flag. If this flag is set, the maskable interrupts are recognized by the CPU, otherwise they are ignored. Okay, so maskable interrupt, that is RST 5.5, 6.5, RST 7.5 are recognized by the CPU if interrupt enable flag is set. Okay, similarly writing the instruction in EI instruction means setting the interrupt enable flip flop. Okay, otherwise if this flag is 0 or reset, all the maskable interrupts are ignored. Next is the direction flag. This flag bit is used to manipulate or execute the strings. If this flag bit is 0, string is processed from beginning from lower address to the higher address. And if this other that is called auto incrementing mode. Otherwise, if this bit is 1, the string is processed from highest address towards the lower address, that is auto decrementing mode. So direction flag is basically execution or processing of the strings, and in the form of conclusion we may say that if this bit is 0, you are executing in auto incrementing mode. If this flag bit is 1, you are incrementing it, or you are decrementing in auto decrementing mode. Okay, that is lower address to the higher address if this flag bit is 0, and higher address to the lower address if this flag bit is 1. Okay, so this flag is set, that is called auto decrementing mode. Now let's start the memory segmentation in 8086 microprocessor, which is the advanced feature apart from 8085 microprocessor. Memory segmentation is used basically to divide the memory into the different segments. And in 8086 microprocessor, we know that the address bus is 20 bit. So total address locations, if we consider the word size is 8 bit, so total address locations will be 2 की power 20 cross 8. So total size of the address, that is 1 MB. 8086 microprocessor has 2 की power 20 cross 8, that is 1 MB, 1 megabyte. Okay, if we are using the segments of 64 KB, 64 KB can be written as 2 की power 16 into 8, that is the 64 KB. So there are basically 2 की power 4 total segments, means 2 की power 4 is 16. So total 16 segments can be formed inside 1 megabyte memory, but only 4 segments are available for the user, and remaining all other segments are freed, or as a user can use as a free memory. So 1 megabyte memory is divided into 4 segments, each of 64 kilobyte, and these segments are named as code segment, stack segment, data segment, and extra segment. Okay, so if a code segment is 64 kilobyte and it is 16 bit, then the maximum address size can be FFFF, and lower address can be 0000. That is, all the 4 bits are 1, all the 16 bits are 1, and all the 16 bits can be 0. Okay, but the to find the effective address or physical address of the memory, you need to always add the offset address with the uh, segment address to calculate the effective address of the memory. Okay, so all the four segments are 64 kilobyte, and the uh, all the four segments are 16 bit, that is 0000s to FFFFH. Okay, or any other values of the 16 bits can be assigned to the segments. As we know that the address bus of the 8086 microprocessor is 20 bit, so physical address range can be from 5 zeros in hex to 5F in hex. Okay, because maximum address of the physical memory can be 5 times F in hex, that is 20 bits. All the F can be written as 4 ones, so 4 times 5, that is 20 bits. Okay, so once you are given any code segment address and you need to calculate the physical address from in the memory, you always need to add the offset address to code segment with shifting the code segment uh, left by 1 bit in hex or left by 4 bit in binary. But these or we can say that we may extend 4 zeros in the LSB or 1 zero in the hex at the LSB. Okay, so physical address can be calculated. Offset address values are also 16 bit, which may range from 0000h to FFFFH. Offset addresses of all the segments are contained by the index pointer registers or base index pointer registers, because there may be different addressing modes, and for different addressing modes different index pointer registers or base pointer registers can be used. So there are specific index registers which can be accompanied with the segments to calculate the physical address. Okay, so always CS is accompanied with the index pointer, and source segment SS is always accompanied with the stack pointer. Means index pointer contains the offset address for code segment, stack pointer contains the offset address for source segment, and for data segment always source index. So SI always contains the offset address of the data segment, and for extra segment there is a one index, that is data index. So for extra segment always the offset address is contained by the DI register. Okay, so extra segment is always combined with the DI. Code segment is always combined with the index pointer, and source segment is always combined with the stack pointer, and data segment is always combined with the source index. Okay, so always you need to add all the offset addresses to the code segment address to calculate the physical address of the memory. So say example here, physical address is calculated like this. Segment address is given this, that is also in the 4 hex bit or 16 bit. In binary you can expand, it is always in the 16 bits. Offset address is given all again in the 16 bits, and so you need to calculate the physical address. You need to add 1 0, so you can add like this 1 0 0 5, and at the LSB add 1 0 in hex, or if you are writing in binary add 4 zeros extending at the LSB, and you need to add that is uh, offset address. Offset address is given as 5 5 5 5. Okay, so if you will add, we will get 5, and here it will come a, here it will come again 5, and here it will again come 5, and here it will come 1. So physical address is 155A5. So this is in 20 bits. So physical address is always in 20